I read this book so fast. It's really, really easy to read. It would be so perfect for a readathon, or if you just really need to get your goal list down. In My Sister the Serial Killer, we have two sisters. I'm sure you couldn't have guessed that from the title. It's completely shocking to everyone. But yes, the story does center around two sisters, and it's set in Lagos, Nigeria. Hope I'm saying that right. It's about an upper-class family with two daughters, and they live in this really nice, beautiful compound, and if you were looking from the outside in, everything would seem really perfect, like they have it all. In truth, though, the family is harboring dark secrets. The darkest of the secrets they hide are between these two sisters. Now, it's a 99.9888% chance that I will be pronouncing these characters' names wrong, so you're just gonna have to forgive me. Korede, which is Korede, and that's just how I said it the whole book, so permanently in my brain forever, that's how I'm gonna say it. Korede is this really humble person. She's a hardworking person. She's the eldest of the sisters. She works as a nurse, really thankless job in a hospital where she works with these coworkers that just really aren't up to snuff a lot of the time. So she has high standards for her work ethic, and she's always going above and beyond for her patients. You really feel connected to her, and you really start to root for her a little bit, and you want to be on her side. Now, Korede kind of considers herself the ugly sister, and she feels like she's lived her whole life in her sister's shadow. But the one bright spot during her days where things get monotonous and tiring and she's exhausted, there's one thing she looks forward to, and it's talking with a doctor that works in her department. He's kind and generous, and he really seems to look at her when they're talking. She feels connected to him, and she just thinks, if I have enough time, I can convince him that we're meant to be together. One day he'll see it. But she never really makes any actionable moves to make that happen, which tells you a lot about the nature of Korede and how she thinks about herself in relation to others, and how she plays down her own abilities. Now, Korede has a younger sister, Ayoola, which is Ayoola. And again, that's just how I said it in my head. It's kind of like, do you remember when Harry Potter came out and everyone had a different pronunciation for Hermione and no one knew? That was embarrassing for a lot of people. And this might be embarrassing for me. I'm kind of hoping that I get at least one of them right. So Ayoola is this charming, the pretty one. She's really beautiful. People are just drawn into her right away. She just has something about her that you like immediately. And a lot of people don't see her darker side, but she definitely has one. She's definitely self-absorbed, a bit narcissistic. She might even be a sociopath or a psychopath, considering that she has this really bad habit of killing her boyfriends. Now, when she loses it and these murders happen, who do you think she calls but her wonderful, humble sister who is always willing to clean up her messes? Whenever Ayoola gets into trouble or murders someone or is just a gross person in general, she always calls on her older sister, this hardworking nurse and who has her own issues and problems going on, to just drop everything and come fix it for her. Now, you'd think that that would drive a huge wedge between them, and of course eventually it does, but what this book is really about is how far you can stretch the bond of blood and what it means to be a family. So even though she doesn't like her sister a lot of the time, or her sister does these horrible things, she still feels really strongly that, hey, it's my sister and I'm gonna do whatever I can to help her because it's my duty. And that's how Korede's life is the entire time. Constantly expected to make sure that her younger sister is behaving properly, so anytime Ayoola does something wrong, a lot of the blame goes to Korede. It gets to the point though where Ayoola starts visiting the hospital where Korede works. And you know that doctor I told you about that Korede's been in love with? Well, Ayoola decides that she likes him and she goes after it. Now that puts Korede in a weird position where A, her sister is now dating the man that she's harbored this love for so long, and B, she's worried that her sister is going to kill this guy or that she'll flip and hurt him in some way. One thing that I loved about reading this is that the chapters are super short, and this book is only 240 pages. So you kind of have this constant urge where you just keep thinking to yourself, one more chapter, it's fine, I don't have to adult tomorrow. And then of course you'll regret it the next morning. It was also really interesting from a cultural perspective. I don't think we get to read too many books that come out of Nigeria, so it's really fun to have a little bit of a tiny glimpse into that culture and what their expectations for family might be and how they might differ from some other cultures' versions. There's also some slang, I assume it's slang, in the book itself where you get to listen to a little bit of the way they talk and the difference between social classes there. So that was a really interesting, fun aspect because you don't get the chance to read books from different places like that, especially from Nigeria. I can't think of one other book I've read by an author from that area. I really can't. So all in all, this is a really fun read. It's a very quick read. It's dark humor. I don't even want to call it humor because it's not like you're gonna laugh out loud. It's just sort of sharp-tongued wit. It's satire. So if that's something that you are interested in, then this might be a fun read for you. It comes out November 20th, I want to say. It is really short, really fast and fun. If you like family dynamics, if you like sisters fiction, which again is a genre I did not know existed until today. It actually makes sense when I think about it. There's a lot of books that are like that, aren't there? Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Leave me a comment below. Tell me if you would read this or not read this, what books you've read from interesting cultures that are different to yours. I'd love to hear about it. If you want more book reviews, book lists, reading lists, TBRs, all that stuff, I'm your girl, so go ahead and press that subscribe button. And if you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!